Hello beautiful people, welcome to your astrological forecast for the upcoming week. This will be the week in between the eclipses, the integration of the full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo, which we just experienced, and the prelude towards the new moon solar eclipse in Aries. We will be switching from the Pisces season into Aries season, ending one astrological year, entering into a new astrological year. And as I'm recording this on the day of the eclipse, on Friday the 14th, only a few hours after the eclipse and only a few hours after the exact sun sextile to Uranus. Uranus was trining this eclipse exact. We are still in the midst of it, still integrating these energies. There is a lot of pressure. I can feel a lot of pressure, a lot of tension in my system. Obviously, it is how it's landing in my chart. I'm also building up towards my personal Pluto square Pluto, which is coming on Monday. So I'm going to do my best here. I am not going to go too deep into the interpretation because I feel that with this eclipse, it will mean different things to different people. Already I discussed this eclipse in depth in my own video, in my collaboration, so all this can be found on my YouTube channel. So if you would like to hear my perception of this eclipse, also I just released my collaboration, or better said, Lada Duncheva just released the collaboration we recorded only a couple of days ago, where we're talking about the entire eclipse season, the energy of this eclipse season. So all that can be found on the internet. So I'm just going to name the aspects for the next week. I have a very busy weekend, personal journey ahead of me. So I might be creating a hybrid here, a little bit of a practical application of astrology as well. And obviously I'm going to pull some cards and I'm going to leave it at that. And then we're going to dive into the solar eclipse energies next week, which will be, of course, with the new energies coming through, because we will be already in a new astrological year coming into Aries season next week. So let me just pick up where we are. So as I already mentioned, before we go any further, let me just ground myself, because there is a lot of crazy energy going around, so I need to ground myself. Okay, and let me open this space and call in on my higher self, my spirit guides, angelic team, ascended masters, also starseed family, our ancestors. I do have the ancestors deck ready, and all the beings of light that wish to be present, the elementals, mother nature, father sky, everyone that wish to be present for this recording. Thank you for being here, everyone. Again, thank you for being here, and I'm sorry for being a bit scattered, but there is just so much going on so much going on in my personal life, in my astrology. Everything is just going on all at once. So as I said, I'm going to do my best over here. So today, as I'm recording this Friday the 14th, we just experienced the eclipse in the very early hours of this morning, depending where you are in the world. The full moon hit at 54 minutes after midnight for me here in the central zone, and the eclipse 5 minutes after that. And as I already mentioned, we experienced the sun sextile to Uranus. Uranus also trined the eclipse exact. Also today, Moon will be moving into the sign of Libra, cardinal sign, but also Libra is all about balancing. So we're going to try to balance these energies, like, okay, where are we finding ourselves at and where we want to go, where we were. Obviously full moon is an opposition, sun and the moon. So this is a lot of Libra energies over here, which is all about neutralization, balancing, and trying to come to the point of neutrality, the 0 point from which a new energy can be created. Then tonight, Friday night, Saturday morning, depending where you are in the world. For some folks, it will be still Friday night. If you are on the Pacific or mountain zone, Pacific coast or mountain zone, it will be still on Friday night. For me, here in the central, it will be already very early hours of Saturday morning. Almost 24 hours after this eclipse peaks, Mercury, as the ruler of the eclipse, because it was in Virgo, is stationed in retrograde on 9 degrees and 35 minutes of Aries, conjuncting my Mercury exact. Just a side note. And as we already spoke about, Mercury will be returning back into the sign of Pisces. He's doing the same thing as Venus is doing. So Mercury is stationing on 9 degrees of Aries, as I already mentioned. Mercury will be returning back to the sign of Pisces on 29th of March, right after the solar eclipse in Aries. And also Mercury will conjunct Neptune on the same day. And Mercury will then station direct on April 7th on 26 degrees and 49 minutes of Pisces, and will return back to the sign of Aries on 16th of April. And then it will be in the shadow until, I believe, the 26th or something like that. It's something alongside on my birthday. So it will be in a shadow until the end of the month, and then we shadow free for Mercury from May onwards, and also Mars will be coming out of his shadow in May, and also Venus. So anyway, Mercury station in retrograde. So Mercury is retrograde for the next well, 3 weeks, yeah, until April 7th. So we will be definitely reevaluating, asking questions, and looking at the situation from a different angle, because Mercury is stationed in retrograde in Aries, so being the ruler of this eclipse, which we just experienced, which was the final lunation, final eclipse for this astrological year, entering into new astrological year with the solar eclipse in Aries, which will be in 2 weeks' time, which will be actually the final eclipse in Aries for this cycle. And we have a lot to reevaluate, with Mercury being how we communicate, connect with reality, and Venus being our values, Venus being still retrograde, Mars being still in his shadow post-retrograde. So there is a lot of reevaluation going on at the moment in preparation for closing of this astrological year, with the end of Pisces season and entering into a new one. Okay, so Moon will be in a sign of Libra until early hours of Monday morning. This is when Moon will enter the sign of Scorpio. And on Monday the 17th, also, apart from me having my second Venus return, Pluto square, and a lot of other things going on, geez, like literally my transits are just loaded at the moment. Sun, for everyone, this is for everyone, Sun is making a conjunction to North Node. So this is happening on Monday the 17th. Obviously the eclipse happened on the South Node, closing phase conjunction. Sun was in a balsamic phase conjunction with the North Node. The last conjunction between Sun and the North Node took place in Aries on 15 degrees 37 minutes last year on 4-4 portal, and the last conjunction between Sun and the South Node took place in the sign of Libra, and that was in September, I believe. All right, then what else we've got going on here? Tuesday, Moon is transiting through the sign of Scorpio, trining Mars. And then we have Wednesday, Juno is stationed in retrograde in Sagittarius. Moon is moving into the sign of Sagittarius. And also on Wednesday the 19th, Sun is conjuncting Neptune. And this is resetting the cycle that began on March 17th, 2024, which was a week before the lunar eclipse in Libra, I believe, which was on the 25th. So the last conjunction took place also in the sign of Pisces. The next conjunction will take place in the sign of Aries. So this is actually the final conjunction between the Sun and Neptune on 29 degrees and 36 minutes, which is 11 and 9, right? So yeah, this is the final conjunction. So resetting the cycle that began last year, and also preparing us for the Neptune cycles through the sign of Aries, which we'll be experiencing shortly for this year, but from next year onwards. All right, and then on Thursday the 20th, Sun will move into the sign of Aries. So we will begin the new astrological year with the equinox, spring equinox for people in the northern hemisphere, autumn equinox for people in the southern hemisphere. And this is entering us into a new astrological year with the flavor of Aries, all about new beginnings, new directions, and Moon being in the sign of Sagittarius, still on the Sagittarian decan at the time of Sun entering the sign of Aries. So this is all about creating the new story, the new cycle for humanity. Then on Friday, Vesta is stationed in retrograde, and Venus, Friday the 21st, Venus is making her second sextile to Pluto, because Venus is retrograde now on 3 degrees 23 minutes. The first sextile between Venus and Pluto took place on February 7th, and the third and the final one will take place on May 6th, before the full moon in Scorpio, right? And that at that point Venus of course will be direct. All right, and then on Saturday we are experiencing Moon in the sign of Capricorn, and that will be for the entire weekend then, which is all about cardinal energy of redirection, also creating a new structure of reality. So yeah, so at the moment we are going to balance the energies for the eclipse, but then, you know, next weekend we are already in Aries season, very different story over there, building up towards the last Aries eclipse. But Aries is always about new beginnings, and that will be also still on Aries decan. And yeah, Moon will be entering us into that week with still being in the sign of Capricorn. Yes, so Moon is in the sign of Capricorn for the entire weekend and the beginning of Monday 24th of March. So yeah, and then on the same day, Saturday the 22nd, Sun is making a conjunction with Venus retrograde, 2 degrees 39 minutes. And the last conjunction between the two took place last year on June 4th, in the sign of Gemini. I believe that was the same day when Mercury and Jupiter had their conjunction, and that was right before the new moon in Gemini. Gemini, all about the choice. Now it's all about Aries, new beginning, new direction. Venus reevaluating what do we value, what matters, what are our relationships worth, and what kind of relationships we want to cultivate and engage in going forward. All right, and then on Sunday the 23rd, Sun will be making a sextile to Pluto, and this is 3 degrees 25 minutes. And the last conjunction between the two of them, which was the first one in the sign of Aquarius, as we might remember, took place on January 21st of this year on 1 degree 43 minutes. So this is the first sextile since that conjunction. Technically, it's the Taurus sextile, but because it's Sun and Sun is special, yeah, this would put Pluto behind Sun, so that means balsamic sextile, which is all about Aquarius releasing, breaking free of the outdated patterns. So the and especially the drama too, but trauma, because Aquarius, when not integrated, before we can liberate or feel liberated, we need to integrate our woundings, right? So yeah, Sun being in the sign of Aries, Mars still being in the sign of Cancer. This is all about reconnection with our emotions, because this is going to be the navigational system and the way we will be navigating and finding our way forward in the upcoming times. Okay, and then as I already mentioned, Monday the 24th, we will enter into the second eclipse week, because now this is the week in between, with Moon still in the sign of Capricorn, however moving into the sign of Aquarius on Monday the 24th, and also the Sun and Mercury conjunction, which we will talk about next time, and everything else that will be taking place that week in a build up towards this Aries eclipse, which will be the second eclipse of this half of the year, let's just say. All right, so yeah, so as I already mentioned, I don't want to go particularly too deep into, trying to logically analyze all these transits, because it doesn't really matter, at least not where I am, not from my perspective. There are plenty of astrologers that can give you all the ins and outs about, the particular aspects, and, go into analysis of what this means in separation. To me, as I already mentioned in multiple videos that are connected to these eclipses and this eclipse energy, we are letting go. We are letting go of the past at the moment with this Virgo eclipse that, as I mentioned, I'm recording this literally on the day of the eclipse. The eclipse just took place a few hours ago. A lot of things are becoming illuminated to us, which is with regards to where we were, what was working for us. Also, what is still working for us that we want to take with us into the upcoming cycles. But this is the midpoint. And of course, the new moon in Virgo was at the time when Pluto was still on 29 degrees of Capricorn for the final time. Uranus was retrograde as the current ruler of Pluto. So that was the last time, for us to really experience the energies of Pluto in Capricorn, and the last of it, because now Pluto is done with Capricorn. That's it, never again in our lifetime, and the lifetimes of many generations yet to come. No more Pluto in Capricorn for next almost 300 years. So yeah, so now we deciding that, okay, based on the structure of our life, structure of the reality, like technically your life until this point, what is working, what isn't, and Virgo is like very practical, like, okay, what can we do? What can we change? How can we change things? And as I said, I'm happy to share some of the things, because I know that I've been a little bit neglecting my practical application of astrology, because currently my personal life is not just about me. So I have to take other people's privacy into consideration. And I am going through a lot of changes in my personal life, obviously right on time with all these energies. As I mentioned, on Monday, the 17th, at the time of Sun North Node conjunction in the sign of Pisces, which is going to be making an exact trine to my Saturn. I am having my first Pluto square Pluto exact based on the natal chart. Obviously, the progressed one already happened. And there is a lot of stuff, there is a lot of tension, and I'm sure that everybody is experiencing this lot of tension, lot of pressure for things to change, because the way things were for many people is no longer sustainable. It is no longer desired. It's no longer enjoyable. So we are all deciding, we are all reevaluating, deciding like, okay, so what can we do? How can we look at situations differently, do things differently? Mercury retrograde as of tomorrow, Mercury is making us to go inwards from Aries back to Pisces and then back to Aries. This is going from the new energies to former energies and then back to new energies. Mercury is entering the sign sign of Pisces again with the new moon solar eclipse in Aries and conjuncting Neptune on 29 degrees, 59 minutes on Pisces on the 29th, 29, again 29 degrees, the final eclipse in Aries, you know, like entering us into this new cycle, new astrological year that holds the frequency of Neptune in Aries, Saturn in Aries, Uranus in Gemini. Neptune is entering Aries literally the day after the eclipse in Aries, at the end of the month on the 30th, which is again the free, just like at the beginning of the month, free portals, right? Which is all about co-creation, collaboration, expansion through growth, because Jupiter is in the sign of Gemini. Technically, Jupiter was still squaring this eclipse, even though it was a wide orb, just over 10 degrees, but it was still squaring it, right? So what are we choosing? What are we deciding, each of us, for ourselves? And like I said, you know, for me personally, I'm going through a whole reconstruction of my life. Literally. My entire life is being deconstructed and reconstructed, and no idea where I'm going. So, you know, I'm just showing up, just riding the wave, noticing, observing, paying attention to unconscious becoming conscious, the triggers coming up, and being able to see the patterns, the cycles, and having the opportunity to discern and decide, like, okay, is this something I want to keep re-experiencing going forward? Because if it doesn't get resolved here and now with this person or that person, there will be another person that will offer the same opportunity for healing, you know, growing, expansion. And this is for everyone. You know, we are in Pisces season, Virgo eclipse. These are all deeply healing archetypes, right? The Virgo, those who walk the earth, having the opportunity to heal those past mistakes, well, we can say the past lessons, and with the Pisces, letting it go, releasing it back to the source, so a new energy can be available, you know. So things like energy cannot be destroyed, right? So energy can only be transformed and transmuted, transcended. It can only change form. So with all of us at the moment doing a lot of inner work, and a lot of people also out of work, but, you know, especially still now being in a Pisces season, a lot of inner work, and with the after effects of this full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo, until we enter into the Aries season, there is still a lot of inner processing. Venus is retrograde until almost mid-April, until April 12th, right? You know, with the full moon in Libra, which the Venus is, you know, ruler of. Venus is the ruler of. So there is a lot that is being on a pause and reevaluated at the moment, so the redirection can take place, so the new stronger foundation can be created for you know, the trees to grow from. The roots have to be strong. So this is what's happening, and this full moon lunar eclipse illuminated, like, make it very conscious to us. What is it, right? What is it that has been keeping us hostage, or keeping us stuck, keeping us spinning our wheels? This is my situation for sure. Spinning the wheels, you know, like the same situation over and over again, you know, experiencing different outcome, but responding or reacting to the situation in the same way. So what can change? What can be adjusted? And of course, the main thing that has to change is our inner world, right? The change has to happen from inside out, because if we try to manipulate, control, and change the external is outside of our control. The external will do what the external does, right? We can only change our response to it, but the only way we can change the response to it is when we heal, you know, the self-saboteur, the self-protector, right? All these different archetypes that live within us, that we adopted, cultivated, created, you know, raised, because they help us to survive. The ego identity, right? Mars is in a sign of Cancer, ruled by the moon. So whatever the moon is doing is, you know, impacting Mars, and whatever the Mars is doing is impacting moon, right? They having this situation going on at the moment. So the Virgo eclipse was directly connected to the Mars, right? And Mars is how Pluto acts consciously. Where are we going? We creating a new sense of identity, new memories, new ancestor lines, new roots, right? Because the old and new, that's always interconnected, because all those that are now in a non-manifested form, our ancestors and everyone that currently is not incarnate, they are in the spirit, right? They are in the Pisces realm. But then when they reincarnate reincarnate, they will not be the same people they were when they were here hundreds of years ago, right? There will be a very different versions of the, of the soul's expression, right? The soul signature, the soul blueprint will remain, but the way it's going to manifest, the way it's going to experience life, it will be very different, right? So this is how the past and the future, they are always interconnected in the present moment, in the right here and now, because the current moment is the after effect of the past, and it's the prelude of the future, because the future is created in the present. So anyway, so with this Virgo eclipse, a lot of things are becoming illuminated to us, has become, so we have something to work on with the Mercury retrograde stationing tomorrow. And at the time when you're watching this, because I'm releasing this on Sunday, because I have my journey in this weekend, so I will not be available to do any social media until I come back. So anyway, I'm releasing this on Sunday, so obviously by the time you're watching this, Mercury is already retrograde, but I'm recording this on Friday. So I'm talking about present moment for me, right here, right now. So yeah, so with everything that's going on next week, the Sun conjunct North Node, that's a reset. Sun conjunct Neptune, that's a reset. Venus sextile Pluto second time, Sun conjunct Venus, that's a reset. And then obviously Sun sextile, did I still Venus sextile conjunct Venus sextile in Pluto second time, and then Sun sextile in Pluto for the one and only time, because obviously Sun doesn't go retrograde and Pluto is not yet retrograde until May. So these are supportive aspects. The sextile, the conjunction, just like new moons, this is always a reset point. Something is ending, something is beginning. We just had a full moon. Full moon is an opportunity for balancing. It's an opportunity to, amend whatever got seeded. Now we can see it growing, right? So how are we changing it, or are we carry on in this direction? So as it is the end of Pisces season, and also the end of, which is the third final decan of Pisces. So that's the Scorpionic decan, right? And as we are entering, we are approaching the end of this astrological year, entering into a new astrological year. This is the time to really decide, what do I want going forward? What do I want to manifest? Because Neptune is going into Aries, this is like the meaning of life is changing. The source desire is changing, that's it. And also with the Saturn move into the sign of Aries in May 24th, everybody's gonna go back. Everybody's gonna go back in fall because of the retrogrades. Uranus is moving in July, also going back this year. So, we're not going to have the full they're obviously fully ingressing, but ingress to stay until next year, right? Neptune in January, Saturn in February, and Uranus exactly on my birthday, April 26, 2026. So here we go. So from April next year, this is it. We have all these guys in the new signs, so Chiron is moving at some point next year into Taurus. I don't have the exact date, but it's happening also before summer, because by the time of the nodal shift, Chiron is already in a sign of Taurus. So that's in July 2026. So we have all these opportunities to now see what needs to change, discern about what we keep and what we're leaving behind in order to create space for this new. And this means different things to different people. So all these reset points, they're just telling you, okay, things are ending, new things are beginning. What do you want the new cycle to be about? All these sextiles are saying, okay, there is a supportive energy. How do you want to use it? It's up to you, right? With regards to Sun and Pluto, this is the second sextile, as I already mentioned, which is on Friday. This is a Taurus sextile, which is about the foundation. We're creating foundation. Venus is retrograde in Aries. What values, needs, relational dynamic do you want to use as a foundation? Your relationship towards yourself, your relationship to another, how do you want people to treat you? Because people only treat us the way we allow them, which is always defined by the way we treat ourselves or how we feel about ourselves. So this is the second of the three. There will be one more, as I said, on May 6th, right? And then the Sun sextile to Pluto. This is Sun in Aries. This is putting Pluto behind, even though technically it is the first sextile since conjunction, which should be Taurus, but because of Sun being special, it is actually the Aquarian flavor. So this is about releasing. What are we releasing? The trauma. We're releasing the things that are stuck in time. The Aquarius, right? The Aquarius in this not lower vibration, but before we can fully feel free, we need to release that which we on a soul level decided, okay, this is what I'm working on. This is what I'm going to be transmuting here in this life. So yeah, anyway, I said I won't be going too much into interpretation, and here I am talking about it. But everybody is going through something right now. And whatever you're going through, it's right on time with these energies, because they are showing you what you might want to change if you want to. Obviously, you don't have to, in order for the new cycle to be different. So this is where many people are like, no more, with this Mars post retrograde, obviously still in shadow, but not retrograde anymore going forward, preparing for his third trine to the North Node, even though the previous two took place in, Aries, Leo to Aries. This will be the Cancer to Pisces. That's happening in April. So, Mars is like, okay, we're going forward, and this new way of doing things is obviously heart-centered and being connected to our emotion. And how can we do that when we all shut down because of the previous trauma? So that's why this Sun sextile to Pluto is saying, well, if you want to liberate yourself, free yourself, feel like you are a sovereign being, living this completely different life that is not a copy-paste of the past, because like how many of us, myself included, I just had this conversation yesterday saying I'm sick and tired of reliving the same year every year. I mean, things are changing, obviously, growing and evolving, but a lot of things are the same. Because fundamentally, if we don't change, the world around us cannot change. And now we're really at the boiling point, which is like, Saturn, Neptune, Uranus all going into new signs, Chiron moving into Taurus next year. Chiron is the key between Saturn and Uranus, as we know. That's it. Next year is the reset point. It's the 2026. That's the year 10, right? This is the year 9. That's it. This is the year where things have to change, because if they don't change, this is your reality going forward. So this is where we each need to sit down with the Mercury retrograde now for the next 3 weeks. What do I want? Make the choice. Mercury is the rule of Jupiter. Jupiter is in Gemini, the expansion of the consciousness, the creation of a new story, right? What did I say? What is this going on with this? Oh, yeah. The Sun conjunct Neptune, yeah, under influence of Moon in the sign of Sagittarius, exactly. What would hold the deeper meaning? Because this is a Scorpio decan. What degree is it? 29 degrees. Perfect. Yes. Leo degree, which is all about creation. What are we creating? What meaning do I want to experience? What would hold the deeper meaning? What is my purpose? What would make me happy? And this is for everyone to discern and decide for themselves. So this is the energy that got stirred up. Obviously, the eclipse itself was trined by Pluto and Uranus from each side, even though for Pluto it was out of Pluto to the eclipse, it was out of sign trine, but still, right? Pluto still trine in South Node, South Node in Virgo, and trine the eclipse, the Moon in Virgo, out of sign trine, but trine still, regardless, and Uranus making the exact trine, right? And at the bottom, we had the Sun conjunct Saturn and conjunct Neptune on each side. Sun like right there, squashed between the Saturn and Neptune, right? In the sign of Pisces. And then everything else that was going on down there in a chart, which again, if you would like to see the details of, check my previous videos about these eclipse collaborations and my personal one, where I show the chart. You can see it very clearly there. So there are all these things going on that are like things need to change, right? Things need to change, because if we take all this crap that we currently carrying with us into the new cycle that we are about to enter next week, don't expect different results, right? So this is for each individual to decide what this means to you, and then on a collective level, obviously, what the majority decides, that's what the majority will experience. However, because the timelines are shifting and the 3D, 5D split, whatever you want to call it, not everybody's going to experience the same things, and that's determined now, this year, depending on the level of release you're willing to put out there, right? Like the level of work we putting into, and how much of the past we're ready to release and let go and neutralize. And this is the biggest goal for me, to neutralize, to be able to deactivate the charge. So no matter what's going on outside of me, this is my personal experience, outside of me, nothing to do with me. Yeah, it has an impact, but it doesn't determine my life. It doesn't determine how I feel. It doesn't determine how I experience life, not to the extent where I feel like, oh, the forces outside of me, whatever the hell is happening, weather, politics, whatever, that's it. I'm just a puppet, like a leaf in the wind, just being blown away, and everybody else is in charge apart from me, because I'm just this leaf, right? No. So that's what I mean. This is with the Saturn, Neptune going into Aries, especially Saturn going into Aries. There is the opportunity for you to become your own leader, your own creator. Mars is in a sign of Cancer. your feelings are your navigational system. We just need to learn to master them, so they're not like toddlers, like like running our life, but we are collaborating. It's all these number threes, the free everything, the Venus Mercury doing the free conjunction, doing the free sextile. There are all these lot of aspects going on in freeze. That was Mars also, with the retrograde. Mars is now going to have this final third trine with Saturn, trine with North Node, trine with Neptune, because there are all these freeze going on, and the trine between Mars and Neptune, right, will be already in a sign of Aries. So that will be when Mars goes back into Leo, trines Neptune in Aries, yes, because Neptune is obviously moving this month. So, yeah, so that's what I mean. There are all these triple aspects going on between personal and not so personal planets, evolutionary planets, that are saying that we are co-creating, we are co-creating on an individual, collective level, and also with the realms that are outside of our understandings, right? The Aquarius, Pisces, the extraterrestrial, and the spirit realm, right? Because it's the quantum field that we're working with, and the spirit realm, the invisible realm. And this is how we're going beyond, not just believing what we see, but trusting and believing that which we don't see, right? The energy that we feel. So anyway, so there are so many layers, there are so many things obviously we could be diving into, but I want to keep this shorter and sweet, and I have cards to pull, and I'm probably just gonna try to interpret them myself, not to make this video super long. But like I said, a lot of things going on for me personally, preparing for my own healing journey this weekend, which, I do have very strong intentions with regards to what I would like to achieve from that. And, leaving the past behind, hopefully, or at least aspects of it, being able to heal, integrate, and moving into the new cycle with a new mindset, new perception, new perspective, new openness, because this is what these planets retrograde are helping us to do, right? To reevaluate, go over things and decide, look at it again, decide again, is this really what's serving you? Like, just like, as I was talking before, like, is it more important to be right or to be happy? Because sometimes you can't have both, especially if you're arguing with someone you deeply care about. You can be right or you can be happy, because sometimes if you just win the battle, like the Five of Swords, just to be right and upset the other person, and you upset as well, then was it worth it, right? So that's what I mean, with the truth, with the Jupiter being in Gemini, and anyway, Jupiter is the rule of Sagittarius, both mutable, and Pisces traditionally. So this is the connection between currently rule of the South Node, rule of the North Node. They all connected at the moment. And especially once Mercury goes back into the sign of Pisces and has a conjunction with Neptune, 29 degrees 59 minutes, no kidding, on the 29th of March. I mean, seriously, it's not even funny. So anyway, there is a choice, there is a choice. What do you want to be your story going forward? So anyway, guys, I'm just beating around the bush and going in circles over here. I'm gonna stop. So yeah, by the time you're watching this, Mercury is retrograde. You use it wisely, right? Especially as it's going from Aries to Pisces back to Aries. And yeah, we are in between eclipses. Don't try to figure it out. Don't try to understand it. Just do what feels right and just flow with it. Go with it. Because, I mean, with the Virgo, it's all about practical application and just about showing up, the hero's journey, human's journey, that's it. And like I said, we're just going to end the week between the eclipses and enter a new one with Moon in Capricorn. So this is how we're creating a new structure, new definition, new direction that you will be walking and following, right? In this new astrological year, which we're beginning on Thursday the 20th at equinox, right? All right. So let's see. So where are we gonna start? We're gonna start with the energy oracle from Sandra and Taylor. 33 minutes, and it was, I think, 36 seconds when I said that. So yeah, let's see. Where are we at energetically? Literally with the full moon lunar eclipse energies in the air today, as I'm recording this on Friday, and the Uranus making a trine to eclipse, sextile in the sun, Mercury literally not moving anymore, just, preparing for his stationing. That's it. Here we go. What are the energies, please, Spirit? Energies for the collective. Okay, there are quite a few cards. Okay, strategy, goddess of the moon, and door to personal healing and happiness. Sounds good to me. And at the bottom, angel of love reversed. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Goddess of the moon. Here is our full moon. Here is our full moon, number 52, number 7, the Neptune, goddess of the moon. Then we have the strategy. Yeah, this is going to be help. The Mercury retrograde will be helping with this, the strategy. 2021, which is the world card in tarot, and also 21 is where do you want to go? Where do you want to go from here? The creation, co-creation, number 3, right? The Empress, the new earth, right? Strategy. It's up to you to decide what you want going forward, and door to personal healing and happiness. Yeah, that's what this moon is offering. Look, another 34, another number 7. We have 2 sevens here. And yeah, as I said at the bottom of the deck, this is 4 and 9, the 13, number 4. Angel of love, but reverse. A lot of people feel disconnected. They are everybody's wounded. Everybody that comes into this planet, from the spirit realm, it's disconnection from the spirit. Everybody's wounded to a certain extent. So yeah, angel of love, we all trying to reconnect, the healing again, the heart, the purple, right? It's actually pink, which is the higher heart, right? The heart chakra. So yeah, a lot of people feel disconnected from their heart because life is not easy right now. I mean, for a lot of people, what the hell? Just trying to survive over here, keep my head above the water, right? So yeah, we are trying to connect with the heart. But yeah, this eclipse offers an opportunity to create your own strategy, create your own direction. This is all about this visualizing, visualizing, intending, because of everything that's becoming conscious to us. We cannot change things if we are not aware of what they are, so the unconscious becoming conscious is a gift, even if it's not always pleasant or desired. And yeah, and this is opening the door, this is like a dove, right? The peace opening the door. This moon is offering opportunity to healing and opening a door to happiness. And that's the 34, which again is the 7th. So we have 7, 7, 3, and 4. All right, this goddess of the moon, I'm going to read this one because I'm not very familiar with the card. And it's the cover girl of the actual deck, the goddess of the moon. So let's see what the goddess of the moon actually wants to say, because all the other cards are pretty self-explanatory, but this one in particular, I do want to ask the deck. All right, let's see. So that's a 52, that's the second 7. The card 52, the goddess of the moon. Okay, here we go. Intuition going within, upright. This card shows an eternal spirit holding a bright reflective moon. That's the eclipse. Here we go. Standing in front of the crystal clear waters of sparkling waterfall, her arms are stretched upward, receiving the light of the moon, the light of inspiration. This card is all about intuition, the ability to receive insights from your soul's point of view. Receiving the card upright tells you that you have the power to get intuitive information on all types of issues, and now is the time to use it. The goddess of the moon brings you all sorts of information, from the mundane to the spectacular. For instance, you could get the urge to take a different route home from work and find out later that you avoided a 3-hour traffic jam. If you might have an idea for a great invention, a stock investment, or a spell-binding novel, this card could also indicate a significant blossoming of psychic ability and mediumship, even on a professional level. You're always blessed with this ability to connect, but this card is telling you that now is the perfect time to open up. Get ready for the amazing inspiration this brings. And the affirmation: I have a strong intuitive voice. I freely receive guidance, and I understand and trust the messages I receive. Yeah, Mars is actually sextile in the eclipse. Trine in the sun, sextile in the eclipse. Yeah, so trust your intuition. Trust your intuition, open your heart and strategize, decide where do you want to go from here. Your road to happiness depends on you, right? Trust your intuition is going to lead you where you need to go. All right, let's ask the sacred earth, from, what is it, Tony? Anyway, I'll put the deck's authors in the description. So this is the sacred earth oracle. So let's see what is the message of wisdom from planet Earth. Gaia, what is the message of wisdom with regards to this full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo, the final lunation of this astrological year in 2025. Ooh. All right. Nothing's coming. Okay, here's one. Shift. Yeah, I think we all know that we are experiencing shift. Change is happening. And at the bottom, heat. Right? This is kind of like a phoenix rising, almost like a heat, and we can see a crescent moon. So yeah, there are shifts happening with each and every single one of us, because so much is coming to the surface, so much is becoming illuminated. Nobody can say like, oh, I didn't know. You know, there's so much, also a lot of disclosures, a lot of things are coming up to the surface. You know, you can see the all the purple, you know, shift is an opportunity to ascend, like evolve, like become more connected. Again, the purple, the crown chakra, the connection, you know, just like the moon card, right? The goddess of the moon, right? Very similar, right? Reaching out for the light, and the fire, yeah, preparing us for the new season, the equinox, you know, the Aries season. The heat will be rising, you know, the things will start moving. Already this week, a little bit more busy, right? We had very quiet few weeks, you know, past 2 weeks. And then I'm looking at the calendar. From next week onwards, from the 24th, is bang, bang, bang. You know, there will be a lot of activities in the sky. So this is the last month, you know, this is the last month after 2024, you know, so technically still in this month, but once we enter into Aries season, things will start slowly but surely speeding up. Things will start moving forward, changing. So yeah, shift is happening because things will start moving. So prepare for the heat, you know, but heat, you know, the fire can burn you or it can create. It depends how you use it. So yeah, let's see if there is something short I can read out. Yeah, these cards don't have a number. Oh, I just closed it. All right, I guess maybe Spirit is saying that I don't need to read the deck. But let's see, maybe I'll just have a look. Okay, the first was the shift. Maybe I'll just look at some keywords in there. The shift. Shift. Oh, here. Earthly message. Okay, this is interesting. Here we go. There is no shame in changing your mind or walking away from a personal belief. Some things are for lifetime, but others can only ever offer temporary solace or fleeting fulfillment. Do not cling to the stepping stone. Keep moving, keep growing, and avoid attaching to anything as truth right now. Your world and your views are in flux. Do not be pushed into making a long-term commitment or concrete decision. Right? Mercury is retrograde, remember. Spiritual meaning, something you love might be coming to an end and you might find it hard to let go. This is only natural and it's not unusual to be sad. However, this ending is also a new beginning or fresh chapter in your story. Know there is a higher purpose to everything and nothing is ever truly lost. Life is forever transforming through endless cycles and we all come back to the shore of love. All right, I'll leave it at that. So that's for everybody's own personal interpretation, you know, what this means in your personal life. What do you feel that you need to let go of, release, potentially friends, people? You know, this is something, again, that I'm going through, you know, reevaluating relational dynamics and what do I want in my life going forward. So this is for everyone to discern and decide for themselves. And then the heat, this one. The elements are already there. A little heat will get things moving. Agitate for change. Instability brings existing insecurities and concealed issues to the surface. Make the most of disorder with new rules, new heights, and new plan. No, that's like the strategy card, right? Take risk, shake things up and see what happens. Don't confuse stability with stagnation. Movement is constant. Be sure to direct it. That was earthly meaning. Spiritual meaning, timeless wisdom, creativity and love is present at every atom of your physical being. Beyond the theories, assumptions and limitations of the manifested world lies a truer reality. Still your mind, focus on your heat center and Still your mind, focus on your heat center and allow the wisdom of the ages to illuminate your thoughts, nurture your soul and guide you to wholeness. Okay, so what is bringing to the surface for a lot of people is anger, you know, what wants to be healed, what wants to be used to create something more meaningful, especially with Neptune moving into the sign of Aries. I mean, Neptune has no bounds, you know, and I just flipped this card, the world. 29. The world is not coming to the end, but the world is definitely changing, it's shifting, because on a personal and collective level, everybody is deciding where to go from here. Okay, let's ask the ancestors. Let's ask the ancestors, the angels and ancestors, the wisdom of the ancestors at these times. Because Virgo is all about those who walk the earth at the moment and before and going forward too. Okay, what we have? She-wolf. Unleash the wild within. Yes. Step into your authenticity. Look, full moon. And then at the bottom is the Father Sky. The Father Sky. Trust in the unknown. Yeah, trusting in the unknown. Trust that there is a higher guidance that's always guiding you, taking you exactly where you're meant to go. You know, also with the eagle, right? The higher perspective. Set yourself free, you know, and this is something like, again, personal disclosure here, I very struggle with because of my own personal traumas and the need to know, the need to control, the need to, you know, like want to micromanage, you know, just like we say that, you know, many of us, like that we have a desire, like we put the intention out there into the universe and then we want to micromanage, like, but I want it to look like this, I want it to happen like this, I want it to happen with this person, I want to happen at this time, you know, all the details, we want to like micromanage the details, where the universe just goes like, okay, well, what is your desire, and then leave it up to me, right? So yeah, trusting in the unknown, the Father Sky always has our best interest. It looks a little bit like a god, right? But it doesn't matter, you know, what is your religious or non-religious orientation. Yeah, set yourself free, give it to God, you know, or whatever is that entity that you think is out there, or no one. And the she-wolf, unleash the wild within. Set yourself free. This is again setting yourself free, letting go of the disguise, you know, your authentic expression. So yeah, this Virgo moon, that's also illuminating to us, because, you know, Uranus is trining it, as I said, and Uranus is still in the sign of Taurus. You know, a lot of us did a lot of things just to survive. Our sense of value and self was determined by other people and what they, you know, told us that we should be doing for them or for the collective, you know, societal conditioning, in order to feel worthy, in order to feel we belong, in order to feel deserving. So we put all these masks on, we put all these disguises on, you know, to fit in, to belong, you know. But actually the wolf can have a pack and it can walk on his own, you know, like better on his own than with the wrong pack, right? That doesn't have his best interest. So it's all about stripping the old skin, the year of the snake, right? And allowing your authentic expression to come out, and then connect with those who are your tribe, who are your people, for whom you don't have to be anybody other than who you really are. And trust in the unknown, which is, you know, I'm talking to myself here. This is not something that is easy for me personally either. You know, so many of us are going through this process where the masks are coming off, because like whose life are we really living? You know, like we trying to live somebody else's life, fulfill somebody else's expectations. Like, why? That's why so many people are unhappy, because they're trying to follow some kind of illusion, you know, like putting something else on a pedestal that is like determining, again, like what should a good, fulfilled, happy life be, and who we should be to achieve that. Like, no more. You know, this Virgo full moon is also illuminating the guilt and shame. Where do we feel not good enough to receive? So yeah, this is our opportunity. Give it to God, you know, with regards to higher guidance. We don't have to micromanage anything. Set yourself free from that. That is the Pluto. That is the Pluto in Aquarius trining the eclipse. Pluto in Aquarius trining the eclipse. Set yourself free, you know, because Aquarius traditionally ruled by Saturn, right? And Saturn is, I mean, obviously Saturn just had a conjunction with the Sun, but again, because it's a Sun, Saturn is behind the Sun, closing phase, balsamic phase, you know, balsamic phase. There is no external authority, you know, that is in charge of you here, right? The only thing that, you know, is really in charge is source, right? And you are an extension of source. So trust your guidance, that, you know, that moon, where is it? This moon, right? The intuition. Trust your intuition to guide you. That is your only authority, right? Your inner voice. We need to learn to understand what it's trying to say, to guide us, right? So we don't have to know all the steps of the road. And also you can see the flash of lightning, you know, things will continue to, I guess, destabilize us. I don't know if that's the right word, but feel more and more ungrounded in the stagnancy that we are at. It will be more and more dissatisfactory because we need to keep moving. We need to keep changing, right? There was one card. Which one was it? I don't even remember. The one that was talking about the stagnancy. Anyway, but probably the moon, because that's the only one I read. So yeah, allow your authentic expression to come out and your higher self to guide you, right? Okay, all right, so let's ask the shamans for their wisdom, as I'll be working with them this weekend. Let's ask the shamans for the wisdom with regards to this Virgo full moon, lunar eclipse. Virgo trines Capricorn. Okay, what we've got? Many paths, yes. Yeah, Virgo, and a full moon, illumination, Mercury, literally stationing, right? Mercury in Aries, there are many paths ahead. You can choose many paths, right? It's also this one. Door to personal healing and happiness. Which path do you want to choose? 34. Oh my God, both are 34. I mean, can't make this up, right? As usual, look at that. 34, 34, right? Many paths. You can choose whatever path you want. It's up to you. Virgo, use your discernment, right? You either trust the external icon, whoever that is, your guru, whoever, or you trust yourself, trust your higher self, whatever you choose, this is the Leo, right? The authenticity, full moon. So yeah, here we go. There are many paths ahead, and you decide which one you want to walk. Decide for yourself. And the water, the feelings, again, the emotions, the intuition, right? Can we see? No? 61, number 7. 52, I mean, come on. The two cards that were number 7 in this deck. Energy Oracle, 34 and 52. Here we go, 34 and 61. 7 and 7, what is 7? 7 is Neptune. Is the number associated with Neptune, but it's also the Chariot. What is Chariot? Is the Cancer, is your intuition, right? Being conscious of your unconscious. So none is really in charge of your life. You are in charge of your life. Your unconscious is not in charge of your life, not the monkey voice either. So yeah, here we go. There are many paths ahead. You need to trust your intuition to guide you to the right place. And you look all these beautiful colors, the spirit, the water element. Mars is still in Cancer. He was sextile in the eclipse. Okay, let's see about these two cards, because this deck is always spot on. Okay, so we have many paths, number 34. Many paths. There are many paths ahead. Multidimensional experiencing of life, that's where we're going, with Jupiter in Gemini especially. The essence, all paths lead to spirit. What you bring to your journey is what will determine if yours is a path of suffering, a path of wisdom, a path of bliss, or a path of loss. Consider the traveler who met two stone masons. He asks one, what is he doing? And the masons reply, I am squaring out this stone. He asks the other, who is doing the exactly same thing, and gets the reply, I am building a cathedral. One man has a job, the other has found his work and calling. He is a part of endeavors much greater than himself. Be sure to pick a path with a heart, right? Use your heart when making decisions, right? The invitation, your call now, is to take a big, bold step and leave the beaten path. Heaven and earth are conspiring on your behalf to support you in this move. Do not dally, lest you miss the movement. It's time to sail into the uncharted. Be sure you attend to both your path through this earth as well as your journey through the stars. The medicine, you have outgrown your current situation and risk losing your way in your own backyard. You are being called to step out of your comfort zone. Respond now while the call is still a gentle whisper. Even though a woods look thick and impenetrable, venture in and let nature guide your steps through the dark until you reach your destination. Remember, if you do not know where you're going, any path will take you there. So I feel this is like this, the heat will be turned up, until the choice will become very clear, right? This is the paths. Choose the path that is right for you. Ask your heart. And the water, Here we go. Water symbolizes purification, regeneration, birth, revival, and cleansing. It signifies an evolutionary shift. Shift, anyone? Evolutionary shift. From former self to new self. Many myths around the world speak of a great flood, North Node in Pisces, and a new life that is revealed after a deluge. Water begins without boundaries, then as soon as a form has separated itself from water, it comes under the laws of time and life, thus acquiring limitations. The invitation: when water arrives, you are invited to watch your emotions, know they are going to be changeable, and do not settle on a conclusion at this time. If you feel joy, feel that fully. If you feel sad, allow sadness to move through you. Water invites you to see the ebb and flow of events and trust you can ride the wave of opportunity when it arises. Natural flow is here, go with it. The medicine: this is a time for cleansing unwanted energy and sticky feelings. Consider this: what water does to the flesh, it does in sacred ritual to the spirit. Their spiritual cleansing, like baptism, is the opportunity to get an instantaneous experience of the timeless, non-ordinary reality in which all true creations take place. Now it's also a time that is pregnant with potential for you. Carl Jung talked about maternal womb-like significance of water as a universal symbol. Water represents the potentiality of existence. It precedes and sustains every creation. Emergence from it is manifest. Emergence from it is manifestation. Immersion in it is dissolution of form. Because of this, it symbolizes regeneration. Make way for the process. You can expect it to be messy, but worth it. Yes, that's the illumination, right? What do we have to leave behind? This is the purification, the letting go, the regeneration, prior to the new moon solar eclipse in Aries, which we will have no, lunar eclipse. We haven't had any lunar eclipse, and we won't have any lunar eclipse on the North Node until 2042, I believe, right? There will be lunar eclipse in Aries on the South Node in 2032. So we are starting some big cycles over here, right? We are purifying the past and choosing a path forward. And that, as I mentioned many times, will be something different for different people, because the way of experiencing reality going forward will not be unified. Aquarius changes the pattern. Okay, and let's get a card from the Sacred Destiny and one major arcana, and we close with that. Sacred Destiny. What is the message from destiny? As this is an eclipse, and we know many people fear eclipses because they're karmic, but the destiny and the karma, this is all connected to our higher self, so there is no surprise for the spirit. The higher self know exactly what's going on and where we're going. So okay, let's see what is the, and also the collective consciousness is aware, nobody is here by mistake. What is the guidance from the Sacred Destiny, please, Spirit? One card. What is the guidance? Okay. Diligence, pay attention, observe what's like, look at things from higher perspective, diligence, also discipline, right? And truth. What is the truth? Truth will set you free. And then underneath we have, so diligence, the truth. What is your truth? What do you wish to believe? And also questioning the truth, because Mercury is going retrograde. Mercury is still the ruler of Jupiter, right? Jupiter is in Gemini, choice and taking risk. We have all this higher perspective, and then we have the protection and openness. Protection and openness. I stopped with the openness, look, because it looks like a full moon, right? Openness, be open to everything. And protection, grounding, like boundaries. To me, that's all about boundaries, but I really want to focus on these. And look, there is another tree here, truth, right? Truth will set you free. But look at the higher perspective, all these birds flying, from the higher perspective, the diligence and also the taking risk, stepping out of the comfort zone, spreading your wings and flying, right? Looking things from a new perspective. But what is your truth? What is navigating your life? And protect. And then the openness, be open Open to everything. What is underneath that? Last card. Okay, last card. What is that? Underneath the openness, what are we opening ourselves up to? Relaxation. Just chill, you know, just be open and chill, you know, things will unveil. And look, doesn't this look just like the blood moon that we just had, the blood moon lunar eclipse? Yeah. Just chill, but be diligent and open yourself up to a new opportunities, right? The taking risks, stepping out of the comfort zone. Okay, so what do we take with that? Keep your mind open. Keep your mind open. Observe your pattern. You know, pay attention. Obviously, use your discernment, and don't try to figure it out. That's what I feel, you know, with this. Don't try to figure it out. You know, if there is a what you call it, inspired, like if you feel inspired to do something and you don't have the like ego explanation for it, you know, so you know it's your intuition speaking. It's not like this rational ego trying to talk us in or out of it. Then yeah, you know, inspired action, I think that is the way forward. But at the moment I still feel, you know, with this retrogrades, like it is not necessarily the best time to initiate unless you're born with these planets retrograde, that are retrograde at the moment. But I feel like, you know, because of the relax card, that really like be open. But you know, at the moment I still feel that, you know, just observe. This is not a time to make some life-changing decisions, but when the time is right and you know when it is, then, you know, be prepared to step into the unknown, to take the risk. But yeah, it sounds kind of like a oxymoron, right? Like, oh, so don't do nothing but take risks. So how does that work? But I really feel that, you know, when you know it's the right time for you to step forward, then you will, right? You will know when it's the right time, but don't do it just, you know, just because, I don't know, somebody else is telling you to do it, or because everybody else is doing it, you know. This is like, look at things from the higher perspective, and until it's your time to take the risk, then relax, you know, just take your time. Okay, last card, Major Arcana, and that's it. Trust your intuition. Yeah, trust your intuition. The water card is winking at me. Trust your intuition. Many paths ahead. Right. Okay, what is the final message from the Major Arcana? Oh, perfect. This flipped out. The Emperor. You are the leader. You are the creator. You have to be grounded in your own power, you know. The fire of creation. Aries, right? You know, even though to me, as I always say, this is a Mars in Capricorn. But yeah, Aries, it all starts from Aries. New cycle begins, you know. Bring the wisdom into the new cycle with you. Use it as the fertilizer, you know, to create the new, the number 4 structure of the reality, the new stability, the new foundation. At the end, like I said, we will end that week with Moon in Capricorn. Here you got it, right? Moon in Capricorn, creating a new structure, beginning of a new cycle. The where is the Moon? Yeah, Moon is in a sign of Sagittarius still, right? Yeah, Moon is still in a sign of Sagittarius when we enter into the Aries season. Perfect. Creating the new story, creating a new direction, new definition. At the bottom is Devil. Freeing yourself from the past, you know. Become your own Capricorn. You are not bound to the past, you know, like you can free yourself, you can take the chains off, you can learn from the mistakes of the past. This is 15, which becomes number 6, which is the choice. What do we have underneath? Yes, Magician. You are the Magician. What's underneath that? Hermit. That the wisdom is within you, you know, the wisdom to guide you forward. And then there is a Moon underneath that. Perfect. So this is the Virgo and this is the Moon. This is the Pisces, you know, the full moon is showing you. The full moon is showing you, and then underneath that is the Judgment. Yeah, call to action. I'll leave it at that. Okay. So here we go. You are the creator, you know, you are the creator, Magician, to create the structure of your new life by setting yourself free from the past, you know. You have everything you need to create the new, to foundation and structure of your new life, the number 4, right? All, like, especially next year, you know, the year 10, 1 and 0, the reset point. But you need to answer the call. Oh, perfect world. Things are going to end. Obviously, they end in Pisces season. You have to answer the call, right? The call. And you find the answers within. You know, the past has to be transmuted. The answer is within. The Star, the Hermit, the inner work. This is how you become the magician, you know. First, the inner work has to be done. You have to show up for yourself, so the cycle can change. There is the world card. There was world card underneath that. Cycles can end. So this full moon showed you exactly what needs to be done. You know, the Virgo, the Pisces, the full moon lunar eclipse showed you what you need to free yourself on from, the old contracts, the old choices. The Capricorn, you're not bound to Capricorn anymore. Pluto is in Aquarius now, but you have to decide. Yeah, with the Emperor, you know, you are the one, and this is the strategist, right? You have to create your new contract. You have to write it. You have to write it. You are the magician. You can do it. But yeah, in order to do that, you have to do the inner work. All of us do. Nobody can do it for you. Nobody can do it for me. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna leave it with that. I completely forgot to mention at the beginning, so I mention it now. So as of today, I'm running my eclipse sales, 25% off all my services on my website. I will advertise it through all my social media. I will put it in a newsletter. And yeah, so if you would like to book a reading with me, I'm fully booked for March. So there is some availability for April, but I will be traveling. I'll be relocating again from Mexico to Europe at the end of April, and it's my birthday as well. So I'm taking some time off at the end of April. But between the 1st of April and the first 3 weeks of the April, you can book an appointment with me if you would like to have a reading to support you during this eclipse season and going forward. All my service is 25% off. You can find the link to my website everywhere technically and in the description. So yeah, so if you would like to connect, you will find me and all my services on my website and social media. And with that, I wish everybody a wonderful, the in-between eclipses week. Enjoy whatever, you know, you're working on at the moment, because we can suffer through it or we can just enjoy it. Like, choice is ours, right? And I'll speak to you again next week about the new moon solar eclipse in Aries. And yeah, happy astrological new year as of Thursday, right? Was it Thursday? Yeah, 20th onwards. So much love to everyone, and I'll speak to you again soon. Bye.